Coming up on this episode of Student DV, we'll see how kids can, we'll learn about videography, and we'll hear some personal stories about autism. All this and more in this episode of Student DV. First up today, students from Oak Hill Elementary bring us a documentary about the Kids Can Food Drive. Let's hear from student producer Donald.
My video is explaining the Kids Can Food Drive and all the efforts that it gives to people who are less fortunate. Well, I would like to say that if anybody's watching my video, they know that they can help the unfortunate by donating food, and that you can even do it one can at a time. My name is Donald Hunter. I go to Oak Hill Elementary, and my video is the Kids Can Food Drive. Hi, this is Donald Hunter reporting live from Oak Hill Elementary at the beginning of our day, Friday, November 13th, 2015, and we are going to be talking about the Kids Can Food Drive. Many schools participate in the Kids Can Food Drive so that we can help other students.
I'm Mrs. Edwards.
And I heard that you are the student council coordinator and you were in charge of the Kids Can Food Drive.
That is correct.
How long has Oak Hill been doing the Kids Can Food Drive?
Over 8 years we've been doing this.
Wow. Do you know which class brought in the most cans?
Yes, our 6th grade brought in over 600 items.
What is your name?
Elena Bazo.
Leah Lopez. Prima Ventatelli. Zachary Freitas.
Do you go to the Kids Can Food Drive?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
How does this Kids Can Food Drive make you feel?
It makes me feel joyful that everyone else is getting food that they can't get.
What do you do to help the Kids Can Food Drive?
I try to donate food and bring as many cans or non-perishable foods as possible.
Well, I turn in foods like beans and other canned foods to help the kids that don't have food for Thanksgiving.
Bring in more cans and search the pantry for more food.
Bring in cans if I have any.
Okay, and how does the Kids Can Food Drive make you feel?
That it makes me feel like some kids can help other kids out there that don't have the food that we do. It makes me happy for those kids.
What can you do to help this cause?
I can keep looking for more food to turn in and spread the word about the Kids Can Food Drive.
Well, we think it's a great idea for kids in schools to help out with our community, and we hope that this food all goes to people who could really use it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
For more information about the Kids Can Food Drive, go to kcra.com/kidscan. Thank you.
Student producer Maddox brings us our next video from Del Paso Manor Elementary School. This video explains what it takes to be an award-winning teacher. Check it out.
I played a role as the narrator and director and the editor and the video taker. Hi, my name is Maddox Brandenborg. I go to Del Paso Manor, and my video is what it takes to be an award-winning teacher.
There are 3.1 million full-time public school teachers in the United States. There are over 5,000 teachers in the San Juan School District, but there's only one Mr. Lamar. He is not just any teacher, he is an award-winning teacher.
My name is Michael Lamar. This is my 31st year of teaching in my own classroom. I also did a couple years of student teaching. I did some internships, so I'm probably about 34 years altogether in education.
Mr. Lamar has been nominated for numerous awards. He recently won John Hopkins Teaching Award and was named San Juan Unified School District's Teacher of the Year. Let's find out how he felt about being named San Juan Teacher of the Year.
San Juan Teacher of the Year was it was incredible to me. I never, as I was working through my career, I saw Teachers of the Year. I thought I could never be like that. And then last spring, it ended up landing in my lap. What it entails basically is after you win the award, you then go on to the next level from the San Juan Teacher of the Year, and you compete for the County Teacher of the Year. And so during the summer, I spent a lot of hours writing essays, preparing for an interview. I did 2 interviews, one that actually was for the County Teacher of the Year award, and then another one that they videotaped and have been running on local television stations through cable. So just putting all of that together, and if you win the county, then you go to the state level. I did not win the county, and that was fine with me because I don't see teaching as a competition whatsoever. Teaching is more a collaboration, and I'm more than honored and proud to represent the San Juan School District as a San Juan Teacher of the Year. One of the biggest pieces of successful classrooms is a teacher who knows his or her students and getting to know them on a personal level. And know your material, but also be willing to put the time into getting to know your students and devise curriculum that's going to be interesting and engaging and inspiring to your students.
Mr. Lamar didn't act like a teacher. When he was teaching me, he acted like a friend.
He assessed my problems and helped me individually to understand and learn the problem better. He doesn't just teach you what you're learning, he teaches you beyond. He makes it fun to go to school.
The most rewarding part is coming in here every single day and being able to talk with my students and get to know them as individuals. And I think that's probably the best part about this job, is getting to know all the different people that I work with every single day, and beyond just being a student, but getting to know them as people as well.
He's always funny and laughing, tells jokes. He's really funny.
He's funny.
Mr. Lamar, he plays these great games that are educational. He helps us learn a lot, and he gets to be we get to do a lot of fun activities. He has really great teaching methods, and he just helps you in a lot of ways. He doesn't just tell you what to do. He actually leads you through. He doesn't do it all by himself, but he guides you.
I start with the Common Core and see, all right, here's what the state is asking me to teach. But then what I want to do is say, where's my slant to this? Here's the basic curriculum that I need to teach, but here's what I can add to it, and here's my twist to it. So I'll take things that come to me in the sciences, the social studies, math, language arts, and look for a creative twist to it.
Mr. Lamar does not like his students to just sit quietly and read out of textbooks. In fact, he likes the complete opposite. Mr. Lamar has many meetings after school and at night. He also spends a lot of time grading papers and preparing his lessons, but he still makes time to hang out with his students. Many of his past and present students stay after school to chat or play football and basketball with Mr. Lamar. During field trips, he doesn't just sit around and supervise. He organizes games of baseball, or he participates in activities.
So I think getting the time to do everything really, really well, that's the hard part of this job. Reading all the papers that I assign and commenting on all those papers, and then writing the curriculum and changing my program based on the needs of my kids, it's very time consuming. I think that's probably the hardest part. A typical day in my classroom has a ton of talking in it all day long. It's loud and it's raucous, and that's the excitement that comes into my classroom. It's not off-task loudness. If you were to walk into this classroom, you'd see kids working in small groups, you'd see kids on computers, you'd see kids interacting with each other, with me back and forth, building knowledge and creating information. What I want my kids to know is they can accomplish anything that they set their minds to. I want them to have the confidence to go out into the world and say, this is what I want, and I can do it. If I work hard enough and I persevere and I persist and I find a way around the obstacles that come at me while I'm trying to reach my goal, I can do that. So it's just that walking out of this door going, yeah, I learned a lot, I'm confident, I'm ready to go on to the next part of my life, and I'm going to take it on with excitement, again, confidence and perseverance to achieve whatever goal that I set for myself.
Our next documentary tells the story of 3 young brothers who escaped their war-torn country and moved to our area. Winston Churchill Middle School student Hasan thought their story should be told.
So here in Sacramento, we have Syrian refugee children that came from Syria. We're so fortunate here, and they're so unfortunate. They have war around them. They can't go to school. They can't. Their parents die. They lose their families. I really appreciated the opportunity to do this because I'm Syrian and I know a lot about it, but I know like the kids at my school and maybe even some of the teachers, they don't really know about what's happening there. So I thought it was really great to have the opportunity to spread awareness. My name's Hasan Alsamman and my video is The Children of Syria, A Lost Generation.
A flower. A flower is like a child. It needs food, it needs water, sunlight. It needs a secure, safe environment. And it needs support. All to help it grow. But if you starve this flower and you block off its sunlight, if you kill off its support and the wind blows too hard, then slowly but surely, piece by piece, the flower will crumble, and all that will remain is a vulnerable pile of dust. These children, they have been bombed, gassed, shot, and starved. In March 2011, the protests began. The people of Syria were calling for an end to the dictatorship of Bashar al-Assad. The people's protests were met with violent opposition by Bashar al-Assad's security forces. In answer to this violent opposition, many civilians decided to form a rebellion to fight the army of Bashar al-Assad. For 5 years now, the fighting has intensified. More groups have joined the war, and the destruction in Syria is worse than ever. With no end in sight to this brutal war, the children of Syria continue to be oppressed by the fighting and destruction around them, with no choice but to run or survive as long as possible in their beloved country. I interviewed 3 Syrian refugee brothers who live in our area.
اسمكن؟
اسمي محمد.
اسمي خالد.
قديش عمرك خالد؟
عمري 9.
قديش عمرك؟
10.
قديش إلكن بأمريكا؟
سنة.
إلى سنة. من وين أجيت؟
من حمص.
Homs, a city in Syria, was named the revolution capital at the start of the revolution.
ليش تركتوا حمص؟
إنه كان فيها حرب.
شو صار فيكم؟
ما فينا نروح البرشة، من هيك طلعنا على الأردن، وصار فينا يحاربونا. بعدين إحنا طلعنا على الأردن، بعدين طلعنا من الأردن على أمريكا.
كيف تركتوا حمص؟
لين رحنا الشام، من الشام للأردن، مشينا يومين، بعدين صرنا بالأردن.
لما بلشت الحرب ضليت تروح المدرسة؟
لا.
ليش شو صار بالمدرسة؟
إنه حرقوها لما صار الحرب وقصفوها.
كنت عندك رفقات بسوريا؟
إيه.
شو صار فيهم؟
والله ما بعرف.
One main danger the children of Syria face every day is the heavy artillery, rockets, and bombs being used in the war. All of these weapons cause widespread damage and are guaranteed to injure civilians. The barrel bombs being used by the government to target rebel-controlled areas, including schools and hospitals, come with a very large child casualty. About 27,000 civilians have died from just these weapons, and a quarter of these civilians were children. In most cities in Syria, the children have gone for 2 to 3 years without proper education. Throughout Syria, many schools have been bombed, and others are being used as shelter for those who have lost their homes. Another horror these desperate children face is starvation. Because of this war, people have no food, no money. In rebel-controlled cities, the Syrian government is cutting off aids, food, and water from the civilians, and the children are starving more and more each day. These children have lost their childhood. There is no more time for play and laughter. There is only time for survival. And under no circumstance should that ever have to happen to any child. War, especially with children, has a lasting, lifetime effect. It is not something you can forget. Many Syrian children are not only physically but mentally scarred by war, and many are diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder at a very young age. These children have seen things and experienced things most of us will never even come close to in our lifetime. No matter what it is, no matter where, nothing should ever come to the countless deaths and injuries of innocent children. For now, The children of Syria, this lost generation, helplessly wait, hoping one day they can have their parents back, their houses back, their school and their lives back, as they watch the streets of their beautiful city flood with the tears of more Syrians.
شو بدك تصير لما تكبر؟
بدي أصير دكتور
وليش بدك تصير دكتور؟
مشان ساعد الأولاد المتصابين الناس.
لما تخلص الحرب بدك ترجع على سوريا؟
اي نعم.
وليش بدك ترجع؟
لأن بلدنا لأن ما بنقدر نروح على غير هاي البلد لأن هاي بلدنا.
Hoping one day they can find their way back to normal.
It could take years to gain the kind of skills it takes to be a good videographer, and students from Andrew Carnegie Middle School are well on their way. Here's producer Ryan on his video, What is Videography?
So it's a documentary on what videography means to people and how it helps their lives and what overall effect it has on them. Well, I think that anyone can get into video production and make a film. My name is Ryan Cox. I am from Andrew Carnegie Middle School, and my video is What is Videography?
It's a way to express yourself, and it's a way to put how you're feeling into video, and so people can watch it.
I like filming because it's fun, and I get to use equipment and stuff that I'm not able to access at home.
Video production is just about storytelling to me. It's just about going out there and telling a story through video.
I like filming because it's fun to do and you get to learn a lot new things and you get to capture moments.
Well, as far as making a video, it really is, you know, just that pre-production and planning and just going out there with a set plan. Like, I know I need these shots, I need to get these interviews and these stories. You know, that is really the most important thing, because if your pre-production is all set up, your production's going to go smoothly, and then you can just go back to those pre-production notes when you're editing it, and then it just, you know, helps everything come together.
What is the longest time you've ever spent editing a video?
I think the longest was we just produced a documentary on the fashion program at American River College, and we had just countless hours of footage, and I think it probably took me maybe about 60 to 80 hours to edit it, and it was a 30-minute documentary in the end. My best advice if someone wants to make videos as their career is just to get out there. And with technology today, you can just grab a camera or a phone and just start shooting videos and help your friends who are doing videos, volunteer, do clubs, get involved in activities and that sort of thing. Is just to really just do it. But it's important for people to have fun and really enjoy what they're doing. I think in anything, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then the finished product is not going to turn out very well because your heart's not in it. So I think that, just being prepared, everybody show up, be ready to work, and then just try and get along. Even if problems come up, just try and make the best of it and go along with it. I just think it's really great and really important for everybody to just tell their own story. And I think it's really easy now with technology, just through camera phones or anything.
That is one nice face.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you again, Kay. Why do you like film?
It's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Our last video today takes a look at the topic of autism. Let's go to producer Simon for more.
I want the viewers to learn from this video like two things. So that people with autism are more than just autistic people. Like my mom always tells me they're not autistic, they have autism. Like some people, like that might be hard to get for some people, but like when you really think about that, it's a big difference, especially to the people with autism. Simon Abbot, Andrew Carnegie Middle School, autism.
Autism is a complex developmental disorder that can affect a person's ability to communicate and interact with others. It affects individuals differently and to varying degrees. Some behaviors include delayed learning of language, difficulty making eye contact, and sensory sensitivities. The parts of the brain affected by autism are the amygdala, cerebellum, and corpus callosum.
ABA therapy is a type of teaching that helps Riggs with learning and communicating. In this game, Riggs has to touch the right object, and once he does that, he gets a star. Once he gets 5 stars, he gets to do something he really enjoys. One thing he really likes doing is jumping on the trampoline. He especially likes it when he sits on the trampoline and I bounce him. Another thing he likes doing, which he's liked doing his whole life, is go on the swings. It's always been a way to calm him down and keep him happy.
My son Sean has autism, and we suspected he had autism at 18 months when he wasn't talking. When average kids begin talking around that time, he wasn't saying anything. And he would also line up all of his toys in lines instead of playing with them and making them talk to each other and interacting. We suspected it and took him to the doctor. We were told many times that boys develop later, don't worry. And so he did speech therapy for a year and then finally got his autism diagnosis. So Sean's autism, he's very high functioning, but he has the issue communicating. He has words, but sometimes gets excited and baby babbles. He's a great kid and does lots of things that normal kids do, like riding his bike. He's doing really well in kindergarten, has made tons of friends. It's not a matter of him not understanding things, which people get confused sometimes because they think if he's not talking normally or if he can't communicate with them that he's dumb, but that's really not the case. He's very bright and knows everything that the average kid would know, just doesn't know how to express himself in a different way.
One thing I want people to know is that people with autism are more than just autistic people. There's so much more to them than just autism. They're their own person.
It's time to say goodbye today, but we'll be back soon with even more student videos. In the meantime, check out secctv.org. I'm Mia Daniels. Thanks for watching.